go. Good evening, Evan. Good evening, everyone that's watching. Good evening, everyone that's watching us back. So welcome. It's Friday night. Let's talk about some Warmachine. Right. So
excellent.
There's some pretty cool stuff. So we've just been talking before we went live about what each of our thoughts were about the dynamic update, what we've seen so far. So I thought, I'll just repeat it because it's kind of interesting, right? See our viewpoints. I thought that what we've just seen in the quality of life update is more than I expected. I expected like a really like slim, like little trickle of info coming out of maybe this will happen, and as we get closer to the actual date of the patch, that's when we'll see some actual juicy bits. But you said you thought they'd be hitting us with some more interesting stuff.
I expected to see less content, but more juicy content. Like
more tease.
I expected more things to be excited about. I don't have a lot to be excited about in this one. There are a couple of interesting ones, and we'll go through it and I'll gush about those. But I definitely didn't see enough that made me sit up and take notice, which...
Yeah.
You know, if they're going to do this once a week, I'd have thought should have thrown something a little juicier than what they've thrown in.
Yeah, well, it's not very long to wait either now, right? 'Cause it's the 21st, the patch. So 20 days, right? That's not that long.
I mean, practically we're talking about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm an impatient gamer.
Hey, everyone wants to see stuff.
I think technically I'm 1 year off a millennial, but you know I'm still an instant gratification guy. Give me my sweets.
Fair. Okay, I can get behind that. So let me just check everything is working in there. That's fine. So we've got a couple of things to discuss tonight. We're going to go over the dynamic update preview. If you've not seen it, the quality of life thing that Faye has posted up. We're going to talk about the Zero Warlocks who've just gone live.
Yeah, that's...
Hello, Luke and Chaos Black. Some nerd rage going on here. So that'd be interesting to see. I've not properly looked at them. I said to you before we went live, I've looked at Kruger. Kruger was the one I had to like go straight to. Not because I'm a circle player, but I was just like, please don't give them too much.
On a positive note on those, like I'm not talking about any rules yet. We'll get to those. I will definitely get to those.
Yeah.
But for the first time in ages, they've released new stuff on Warroom, and the day it's released, it's got the card art.
Yeah.
Like, I remember waiting 3 years and still not getting the
updated
card arts on the Grimkeet stuff.
I didn't even realise the art was there. Okay.
Yeah, like I think they're taking their primary game a little more seriously now. Someone's like flipped a switch back in the back rooms.
If that's the case, that's very positive. Definitely happy with that.
I think so.
So yes, that's the main topic tonight, and then we're going to talk about. Well, normally we talk about our games of the week. I've played nothing, so I'm going to talk about my games for the weekend because there's an event at Asgard Games tomorrow that I'm going to. So, have you been playing much at all this week, or?
I've had one game which I'll go into.
Right.
I've only had just one game online.
Can go for that,
it's actually streamed it's on the site and recorded on the YouTube channel if anyone wants to go look.
Yes, that was
a nice one because it's
Beth into a different Beth into
it
was, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a Beth to all the Flappy Boys into Raven's double Lilith 3 Double Archangel.
Yeah.
But it's a nice one to watch as well. It's bite-sized. It's only about an hour. I mean, that's the usual problem in watching a recorded Warmachine game. Like,
it's having the time to go
2 hours is a long time to bloody watch.
Yeah, I get it. Right, so what do we want to do first? We want to talk about. Should we go straight into the update, and we'll come back to our.
Well, let's go with games. Let's go with games first, and then let's go.
Yeah, it's quite a short section. So so go. Do you want to go ahead with your game first?
So I'll go to mine there. So that was a really interesting one. So I'm playing a Beth 2 list where I'm not playing double Archangels. Because god damn it, I don't feel like painting my second Archangel because that's just a chore.
Do you not have an airbrush?
The first one's
it's like a 5-minute job.
No, I don't. The first one's a labor of love, but the second one's just a chore. anyway. But the other reason is I've got an Archangel in my pairing, so I don't like bringing the same Colossal or Gargantuan in both lists. You know, if your opponent can deal with one in one list, they can deal with one in the other. So
okay.
Rather break it up. So this one's sitting with all the Flappy Boys, 2 Angelii, each one sitting on a Blight Archon, 2 Neraphs and Golab, all sitting on Beth 2, and then the usual support nonsense. Everything else is really irrelevant. Only thing to note is I'm one of those curmudgeons that don't like Seraphs. I mean, an extra 2-inch threat is great. I know a lot of Legion players disagree with me on this. I just can't justify a Seraph for the same price as a bloody heavy.
So
I think piece to get into a heavy, I just can't justify for an actual.
Yeah, I think
heavy.
I think the way Legion seem to be now is you don't have to have that. It used to be you always took the Seraph, whereas especially now where you go,
not really.
Do you not think? It used to be back in the day.
No, even back in the day, the Seraph is just so pricey.
It was.
When it's the same price, especially before the Neraf came out, maybe. But once the Neraf came out, and you could actually get a heavy for the same price, you can just stick your Neraf in front to draw someone in instead of getting your jump, and actually make them spend resources. The Seraph is just too expensive for what it does, and there's no way around that. So I get very pissy about the Seraph. But anyway,
what I was going to say was Legion's ranged game, and being able to soften up stuff with so many nice sprays and options. I think means you don't have to be the one that hits the furthest.
You kind of do, because if you're using the sprays, you're in range to be charged.
This is true.
Be killing whatever it shoots.
But that's what Hellmouths are for, right? It's different fun.
But basically, the only reason Legion's ranged game is actually something scary right now is the Archangels back in the world.
It is still very scary.
That's given Legion a solid range game. It doesn't have a massive beast range game otherwise. But anyway, so this list I've got has very minimal range game. I've got 2 sprays off the Blockons, and I've got...
so your list is what? It's Bethane, so Bethane, Pride of Everlight, Golab, 3 Harriers, 2 Neraphs, a Blight Archon with an Angel, a Mechano Shredder, and a Blight Archon with an Angel, a Harrier, Kralix, and 2 Hellmouths.
4. Yeah, that's it.
I'm just reading it from the YouTube notes.
I figured.
And I'll just go. I'll go with what Tabitha was playing against you. So Tabitha had Lilith 3, so Reckoning.
An interesting list.
Reckoning of Everblight, double Archangel, and a Bolt Thrower. Because obviously, that is you've got to take it if you take a Lilith. Otherwise, you just giving away free kills.
No, Lilith's such a good gun. She needs the Animus.
And then a single Blight Archon with Mechano Shredder and Harrier, 2 Virtue Champions, a Forsaken, a Shepherd, and a unit of Ice Switches.
So that's an interesting one. The Ice Switches are a fantastic addition to the double Archangel. It's a really nice addition to that package.
Just being able to go every turn, I can Puppet Master both Archangels and Lilith because they're so huge. You can all be within range.
And that's it. That's perfect. And they've all got reposition. They've all got crazy range games. It's a really strong list, and it's interesting because it's actually an answer to the Beth 2 double Archangels.
Yeah.
That's a list you build to beat Beth 2 double Archangels, because basically Beth 2's now got to take it on the chin because Lilith's Archangels out-threat Beth 2's.
Yeah.
And it's always got a scary threat. The assassination threat on that is ridiculous. Not too bad into my matchup because thankfully Beth 2 is immune to fire, which means all the Archangel guns can't kill Beth.
Yeah. But
so that's pretty big. So true to form, I do not get first turn. My rerolls don't help me at all.
Yep.
She basically just comes screaming up the table with the 2 Archangels. hanging back with a bit of the rest. And this is one of those times where, again, I like the way this list plays, because you shove forward and you say, cool, I'm feating turn 1. And this list is interesting because you don't have, you've actually got too many feat targets. So you've got 8 targets, so that becomes your 5 heavies, Bethane is 6, the 2 Hellmouths is 7, 8. And you actually can't feat on your Harriers.
Yeah.
But you can hold on to a little bit of Fury with Bethane, use the feat to move damage to Bethane, and she can transfer to the Harriers.
Yeah.
So you've got even more boxes to play with.
Yeah.
Which makes for a pretty scary thing. So I basically shove myself up. I stick Transmutation on Golab to make him a nice defense 15. I use a bit of terrain to make it hard to hit my angels, each hiding behind a wall and various things, and shove up and feat. One thing that left me in a bit of trouble was I stuck one of my Hellmouths a bit too far to the side, so I really stretched the edges of my control range to catch an Angelius to threaten the right-hand zone and to catch the Hellmouth in the left-hand zone.
Yeah.
And Tabitha capitalized on this. I was very upset when I saw her measuring this out, because she was 100% right. She walks up a bolt thrower, she shoots Bethane in the face, and pushes her 1 inch, which is just enough to get her out of
stop
control
the angel
of the Angelius. So this poor Angelius, who's not even in her battle group, but now can't benefit from her feet.
Yeah, so he's now just flapping on his own.
It's now flapping in the wind. Both the Angelii have +2 armor on them, which is solid. So she throws in she throws in both of the Virtue champs just to stick some damage on me. A little bit of a mistake there, although, I mean, the Virtue champs, it's amazing the damage they put out. Like, those solos are pure gold.
Yes,
I still hate the models. I hate them with a passion, but damn, they're strong.
They are good, yeah.
So anyway, those rush in, they do some damage, but she got that order wrong, so one Archangel ends up doing bugger all, because she's engaged all of my models. And
yeah, I remember watching it and you going, "Has that Archangel just done nothing?"
Yeah,
yeah.
She
immediately was like, "Yeah, I'm mistakes."
But yeah, it was a misplay. Like, okay, fine, it happens. Yeah. And then in comes the Archangel to hit my Angelius, and it's only about a 60% for that Archangel to kill the Angelius. Like, that armor 19, defense 14 is not fun for a mat 6 beast.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the dice stay true, and she does kill that Angelius. But here's where she got a bit surprised. So I'd done a little bit of damage to that Archangel with tentacles, but it's pretty easy to do. And I'd made sure that the Hellmouth on that right-hand side was upkeeping Dissolve, so it can do the armor debuff.
Yeah.
But basically what happens then is my turn, between Kralix dropping the Archangel's defense by 2, the tentacles then drop the Archangel's armor by 2. Kralix with 2 poison shots does a good 10 or so damage to it. And that single blight... Yeah, well, the single blight Archon then charges in and with 2 fury to spare kills an Archangel. And
nice. So Kralix, is this your first game where Kralix has not just died?
It's the first game where Kralix has survived. I cannot tell you how often this idiot dies.
And has become like MVP by hitting the weaken and then a good chunk of poison damage.
And the weaken was big because the first 2 attacks that came out of that Blight Archon only hit because of weaken.
Fair.
Like, man of the bloody match there. But I mean, this one just to me highlights exactly what I was saying. Was it last week or the week before, where we were talking about the nerfs, and that I was so surprised the Blight Archon got off lightly.
Yeah.
Like, that Blight Archon takes buffs way too well.
Yeah.
Like, sure, I've put a +4, I've put a +4 damage on it between dissolve, and I obviously threw transmute onto it.
Yeah.
But that is 1 free, 1 boosted, and that is 2 basic. You buy another 5. That's 7 power 17 attacks. 1 boosted that I'm getting out of. That's 8 points solo.
Some value
9
there.
points. 9 points in 3 weeks. Like, that's not okay, guys. I mean, I'm enjoying it, granted, but that's not okay.
And yeah, and
Seriously.
that's like going all out. But obviously, you've then got the defense option, right? So you can just be like, I'll just sit on watch, have transmute on it still, for instance, sit behind a bit of terrain because you can fly. And then be like,
that Archangel with 2 Fury left. I had 2 Fury left for transfers, and this.
Did you have Crimson Ballet up as well, so you could sprint to somewhere like behind a wall?
No, I didn't have Crimson Ballet because
it's not quite that good.
No, I wanted to keep every Fury just in case the dice went bad. I was trying to kill a Gargantuan for Pete's sake. I'm not that greedy. So I mean, I killed the Archangel quite easily. And then, Tabitha responds. She kind of freezes a couple of mine with her feet now. I suppose for those who don't know Lilith 3 or Beth 2 that well, the big limitations when I feat is that I can't be made stationary, which basically means the turn Lilith wants to feat, she can't, because it's just useless.
You force her to hang on to it till the next turn, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So. I kill the Archangel and I go up 2-0 on control, which is a big deal.
Yep.
The response, she can't score and she kills. I think she kills 1 heavy. She might kill 2. No, she kills 2 heavies. And at that point she basically resigns. She knows she's about to lose the second Archangel and just can't come back strong enough. So it becomes quite a quick little grind there.
Yeah.
But one that I really like because it's into something really scary. Like double Archangels is a really frightening little shooting game.
So how did that end then, Evan? Was that
ended on concession there.
Oh, okay. Because she's like, she loses she could see that she's going to lose the Archangel, and there's no coming back at that point. She's not good enough. Yeah.
There's no coming back. Yeah, I mean, you lose 2 Archangels, you've got nothing left.
Yeah, it's too much points. So I can see that.
As I think that basically she would have lost an Archangel and a Blight Arch on that turn.
Yeah.
And there's no getting out of that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's I think at some point in my previous turn, I also managed to kill the Bolt Thrower because why not?
Yeah. I used to love playing that 3.
Bolt Thrower. I loved her back when she had the other Animus. When you had Zuriel's old Animus. And then
I'm trying to think.
Mark II. So Zuriel's Animus gave you an... I think it was boosted rolls to hit infantry.
Yes. So murderous, effectively, wasn't it?
It was better than murder, so it was all rolls to hit infantry. So Lilith could put up Zuriel's Animus, get boosted rolls to hit infantry, and she could throw up Spell Martyrs and use Blood Boon to toss out Frost Hammer, which would also be boosted against infantry because of the Animus.
Nice.
So she could just spy through an infantry army. And remember, this was Mark II. This was infantry machine.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I adored that. I was very upset when the rework killed Zuriel's Animus.
Yeah, I couldn't.
It's been a long time since.
Shows how long. Cause I couldn't even remember that's what it was. I was like, is it not been dodged forever? It's been that long. But
that was the Mark III rework.
So you got just the one game in this week.
That was the only game I got in this week. I'm aiming to get some more in, hopefully on the weekend.
Yeah.
I'm loving this list. I'm looking to just keep playing this pairing until the next event.
That's cool.
And then eventually, I think I'll keep playing Legion until I paint up. I finally I've assembled my. Here's the big boy. There is a Harvester of Souls.
Oh right.
So when he's all painted up,
I'll go
and ugly. Infernals for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. when he's painted up, I'll give Infernal. I'll go back to Infernals for a
I
bit.
saw some pictures from the London Steamroller while you were out camping, and
Yeah,
I'm not sure if it was
it.
Dean or if it was Daniel
It was
had
Dean.
had one on the table. It's like
Yeah.
respectable.
Oh, I don't know if he had one on the table. I saw Dean took third place, but I didn't know what he
Yeah,
brought.
I think Daniel was playing. Well, Daniel was definitely playing, and
Is he?
and he
Okay.
picked up Steph's old Infernals from her, so which included one of each of the Gargantuans, so or the Colossal Horrors, I should say, not Gargantuans.
I didn't even know Steph had got hold of the Gargantuans. Okay, very cool.
That's pretty cool. So we'll see, and obviously Daniel's down your neck of the woods. So maybe when you go to Brighton, you'll see.
Oh yeah, there's a good chance I'll be
like
running into
the
those
south.
the hard way.
Yeah, the south is basically like infernal Mecca in the UK. I'm not sure where else it's being played. So,
Nowhere else is Infernals. It's just the south.
Yeah, pretty much. Community Killer on Facebook is saying that the Colossal Horrors are sick, sick to play against and sick to look at. Right, they're like proper like.
They're really cool, man.
Oh, that's what I mean. Though,
like,
but they tick all like the box. They look horrific, right? They actually look like a horror.
Amazing.
I can't help but look at a Shrieker and you kind of go, oh bless. It's not really like intimidating or scary.
So sweet.
Right?
Man, I shut down an entire flank of a Zol2 army just by running with the Shrieker.
Yeah,
I have such
whaling is a thing.
It is a thing. It is an awesome thing.
But yeah, you got like 4 or 5 Infernal players in your neck of the woods here. Like, I'm not sure we probably got 4 or 5 Infernals players in the UK. Like,
oh wow,
Evan's like part timing. We've got Dean and Daniel down like London or the south.
Yeah.
Lewis in Cardiff was playing Infernals, and he's moved off them completely. Right. He sold them on. Obviously, Steph stopped playing. I think she was the only Infernal player up north. So yeah, I can name 3. I can name 3 people playing Infernals. We'll see. But like
most of it.
But there's obviously there's metas that are coming back. There's metas that are growing that we're going to start to see a little bit more interaction with. So it could be that I'll turn up tomorrow.
I was really glad to take a look at the photos from the event I missed on the weekend. It's like here's like 3 names I don't know. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see. So talking of that, it's I'm going to an event tomorrow. So I'm going to Asgard Games for the inaugural, let's get this right, Warsaw Warlords, Warsaw Warmasters event. Warsaw Warmasters. So it's basically like the old Warlords of Warsaw have basically moved like where they play to this new really nice looking venue. It looks a little bit like Firestormy in how it is. It's got like its own cafe and its own like coffee shop, and then the games store itself, and then a gaming area. So it looks like it's got a bit of everything. It looks really nice, and so yeah, I'm looking forward to going there. And I've not played with what I'm taking for some time, so it's gonna be interesting. But I've been playing Grimkin. But like with the upcoming patch, the upcoming changes, I was like, I've got this Convergence army, I've got all these fucking angels, and I've never taken them to an event. So I'm taking them because I'm like, well, I need to get some value out of my spend, right?
Before the nerf hammer comes down 3 times on them.
So
into the ground.
I'm going for full angelic bullshit in Convergence or Mercenaries, whichever one I want to put on my form. So I'm playing.
Oh, bless you for doing it somewhere I'm not playing.
So I'm playing double Aurora. So I'm going to make some friends tomorrow.
No, you're not.
Very kindly, Ben Thomas, one of the England WC players, is lending me some of his Convergence, so I didn't have to scramble around building and fixing all the rest of the stuff. So I've only had to like build half of my list and arc them all this afternoon. So I'll quickly run down what it is. It's like nice. There's nothing nice about it. So it's Aurora Newman of Aerogenesis. So that's Aurora 1. Crucially, the Aurora 1 thing is every turn is +2 speed and flight to all the infantry. And what's it called? The models can boost from her with arcane might, same as Vlad. Chapter Master Cantor, like, yeah, who needs friends? Yeah, who does need friends, right? So, Aurora with a colliery, 2 conservators who are the floaty jacks, with shield guards and shields. So they got 2 bucklers. So they're like armor 20. They're only power 15, but they get Hand of Vengeance, so they're effectively 17 if you kill something near them, which is fine because I've got another 4-point armor swing as well. So 21 if I'm landing everything, which is not too bad. 2 of them and a diffuser. Which I'm not normally a fan of, but I'm like, I'm going to take it to see if I absolutely hate it, because maybe that's the thing that like is the cheeky extra threat extension for when Gatsby isn't a thing. So it's if you've not seen a diffuser, they're the little like they're like the Imperial droid. They're the Imperial droids, right? They
shoot something and it's a beacon.
Yes, they have beacon and they have luck as well on their gun, or luck, on their gun specifically. Yeah. So it's a range 11, power 11 gun, 1 shot only with beacon. Yeah. So it's not too bad. You get the reroll. You boost it, you reroll it. I did have 2 in the list, but I was like, I couldn't bring myself to build a second one. So, I think I've got a second one in the box, but I'm like, no, I can build it. Yeah. So that's what we got. And then we've got Herbert Henschel, Prefect Hypatia, 2 Death Archons, who will be obviously boosting off Aurora's focus stack, 2 Steel Soul Protectors, so that's 4 shield guards in total, a Frustrum Locus, 1 lot of Accretion Servitors for cheap solos to trigger vengeance and to sit on flags and stuff like that, and to repair. Gatsby with a Shrike, and then 3 lots of Negation Angels, and 2 units of Optifex Directive. So, Optifex Directive are the living mechanics who can give you magical weapons and Pathfinder. But most importantly is
community. I see Community Killers asking us how big are the monthly steamrollers aside.
Oh yeah.
It really depends where you are.
Yeah, so we've just the first one we had back in Sherwood, which is like my local. We had 39 players.
That was massive.
This one on the weekend is 24 players. So the way they're going to do it is basically they're going to do the first round dictates what pod you are in. If you win your first game, you go into pod A. If you lose your first game, you go into pod B, and then it runs side by side as 2 events. So you know then you have guaranteed 4 games and a clear winner of each pod, and then there'll be prizes for each pod, which is kind of cool.
The South isn't doing so well as well, so London's still scraping itself together as about 8 or so. I'm expecting Brighton to be closer to 16.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's get in there
when they kick off.
I imagine
they're getting there.
I imagine Cardiff's got one booked this month as well. So Firestorm's got its inaugural Warmachine event. I think it's up on I think it's the week after the update.
Right.
And then that obviously, so we've got people from Swansea, Cardiff, and then it'll gather a bunch of the people across the border. So like sort of Gloucestershire, Cotswolds, Bristol. So that'd be interesting. That'd be nice to see if that gets good numbers, but we'll see. So yes, variable, but Midlands, Midlands and North, it's a little bit better. There was an event in the Northwest, but that was before like the lockdown fully lifted, so it got like cancelled and rescheduled a few times. I think they've given up, and then at some point they'll try again.
Once COVID regulations become somewhat more predictable.
We'll see how it goes. So yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there though, which is nice. And then so back to my list. The last 2 things in the list were the 2 lots of Optifex Directive. So the crucial thing is they're living. So they're basically a bunch of guys that can do a big repair job on any of the stuff that's not the Archons. give me magical weapons on the negation angels if I need it for some reason, or all terrain on I don't know what, on the steel sword protectors. But basically, they can run in front of the Death Archons and be things that will trigger vengeance and give me corpses. Basically, so that's the one list. So obviously it goes pretty fast. So the Death Archons threaten like 16 inches against the beacon target before they go forward. So
every time you say something awful like that, all I can think is like, I've got those boxes here. Do I just assemble Kruger and be the bad guy?
I don't mind. I played Aurora into Kruger so many times now. I kind of feel unless the players like really on their toes, I've got a good old chance. And so that's talk about the second one.
An even game that.
Yeah. So the second list is Aurora 2. So it's literally Aurora 1, Aurora 2, Strange Bedfellows, with a Colliery and Nomad. Nomad being my like Merc Jacket choice, just because I like the extra mat on the charge. And Tried and True is a nice cheeky benefit.
Right.
Like, the ability to go, I'm gonna just automatically pick up an extra point of repair when the theme gives me an extra point of repair. So every time an accretion servitor repairs you, you're repairing 3 points for a little tiny solo. Then 3 Tesselators. 3 Tesselators because I couldn't find enough spare Tesselators to bring 5, which I was going to. And then Hypatia, double Voids in this list. Frustrum, Accretion Servitors, Algorithmic Dispersion Obfex, the ADO, and then Gaspy the Shrike, 3 lots of Negation Angels, 2 lots of Clockwork Angels, and then an Obfex Directive.
Oh, neat. Okay.
So yeah, a little bit of different things there, and yeah, partially dictated by the lack of Tesselators in the UK. Basically, I was starting to make my own, but like I was like, nah, I don't have time.
Tessellator stock is about to go up. Kruger's Windstorm can't drop their range anymore.
But unfortunately, they've become more expensive, and the rest of the stuff you take with them isn't as good. So.
I mean, swings and roundabouts. Still.
Yeah. But yeah, as Community Killer said, like Death Archon's 21 in a proper Merc list for Aurora 1. It's like, so you add, right? Is that in? Is that just if you take them out of theme or in? Probably out of theme, right? So you could take an Iron Head. You can take Nemo. Nemo can summon in an Iron Head, right? Doesn't matter. So you take Nemo.
Oh shit!
Like, seems okay.
Seems fair and balanced.
It's reasonable. And obviously, Strange Bedfellows gives them swift vengeance as well. So if you kill a living, kill a warrior, kill a warrior model within 5, then they get vengeance. So that 16 inches becomes 19 inches, which is where the 21 comes from. I think in the community I was on about, it's basically that plus the lift, whatever it's called. So community has just replied, So Nemo 4 for the Iron Head, Diffuser, Aerogenesis, Swift Vengeance. Yes, all the stuff basically I talked about, and capping out on the Vengeance and the sneaky lift. And you don't have to take it out of theme. Of course, you could take it out of theme, right? Power Lifter. Yeah, just bring on Ripley. Like, why are they not just like in Ripley suits, living the dream? So that's what I'm taking on the weekend. I've had to borrow a load of stuff because I've got like 1 Death Archon proxy not built, so I'm borrowing 2 Death Archons. I've only built 1 Tessellator, so I'm borrowing some Tessellators. Yeah, but I was like, I've got all this stuff. I enjoyed it, and I want to try it for who knows what happens next month, because it could be that I go, it's worth me playing this other conversion stuff that I've never put on the table, or please, I put the slaughterhouse down. Like,
No, let the slaughterhouse get fixed.
I'm looking around my room. It's still in a box. I've not even assembled it yet because I was in no rush. Whereas it might actually get put on the table.
I mean, that's exactly it. Like, I took ages to even buy an Archangel because I was so sick of buying big, pretty models that are just shit on the table.
Yeah.
I can't bring myself to buy the slaughterhouse right now. I just can't do it.
And I think on my like review of the slaughterhouse, I said basically how I thought it needed to have these rules. I basically gave like a bunch of potential fixes to make it viable competitively. But I also said it's a really cool model. I love it aesthetically, but I wouldn't spend my money on it. So
yeah,
that's what I did. So I basically swapped some other gear. I did a swap for one basically.
Right.
So,
that makes sense.
Yeah, of like, I had a bunch of Zinch stuff in my cupboard that hadn't seen the light of day for like 2 years. So I was like, I'm quite happy to swap that for a slaughterhouse who is now in the same cupboard, but might see the light of day. I really want to paint it.
Light of day for some love.
I definitely want to paint it.
It's such a cool mini. I want a good reason to paint it. So yeah, Faye, are you listening? I want a good reason to give you my money. Give me a good reason.
Basically, yeah, just go back. Just go to my YouTube, watch the video, and there's a plethora of ideas to make it playable. Yeah. And people,
and don't just use one. Like, that thing is really bad. Like,
people
throw a couple at it. That needs a lot to stick.
I'm 100% like committed to it. Is the worst gargantuan in the game. I think the Waldrath is better.
It is worse. It is worse than the Waldrath. I will die on that hill.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm like the Waldrath. I'd rather take a Waldrath than a slaughterhouse.
Absolutely.
It's like that. It's like you need some work there because you want to sell models, and you want to see like if someone came over at our club and looked over and I was playing, I don't know, Child or Dreamer, with a slaughterhouse and a plethora of other things, like it's just gonna look fucking cool, right? It's the same as you go over a game shop and you look at someone playing Storm Raptors and Archangels and you go, the biggest, best, coolest looking sculpts that can get the sweetest paint jobs.
To the table.
Yeah.
You walk over to the table and you look at that table and you want to know what they're doing because
you go, what the fuck is that? Like, that guy's got a haunted house that's like stomping through the middle of the enemy army.
It's one of the kind of small, little bits of forgiveness I give towards Archons. Like, they're all grossly overpowered for the game. Like, even after the nerfs that have been proposed, like, they're grossly overpowered for their points. But they look cool. Like, those are cool minis on the table.
Yeah.
And I give them a lot of credit for that.
Yeah. They need to like get behind it. I'd love to see this update be a real positive change, and I've got faith at the moment. If anyone from PP is watching as well, please reply to my emails. like there's people that are producing content and trying to help the game out. Just communicate with them. It's a cool thing to do.
At least 80% of my emails are not swear words directed at you. Like, you can ignore those.
Yeah, it's all good. So let me just take this the thumbnail off here, and we'll go. This is what we're looking at. And what we're talking about now is that the dynamic update preview, which is a quality of life update.
So last time we were on, I was gushing about the previous one of these. So I'm a little more downcast now.
Well, it's very much like here's a couple of things that are going to change. We know that Sackborn is changing in like the text fluff, and we know that there'll be other rules cleanups and stuff along those lines. So we'll see. We'll just go through it as it is. Just go through the doc. It's not that long. Just give some ideas. So it starts with, well, first of all, the zero level warlocks are now in Warroom and on sale. You got to buy them direct from PP, I think.
Which
is an interesting choice.
We'll dive into those when we're out of these. Yeah, I don't know why they decided solos had to be direct purchase. Like, did they not think small stores were pissed off with them as it was?
Or maybe they can't. Maybe it's like a distributor. Like we keep on hearing, is distributor problem where the distributors aren't willing to basically work with them anymore for whatever sins of the past.
Get your shit together.
Yeah,
Like,
so,
I'm sorry, like your entire job. Like, I know I hear a lot of people making excuses for privateer here. I'm absolutely ruthless on this one. All the rest of the stuff like that we love, making the game, designing cool minis, those are ancillary. Your business is to take toys, get them in packages, and get them to the customers who want to give you money for them.
yeah,
That's your business. Everything else is secondary.
yeah.
If you can't get your distribution right, you're failing at your core business.
Yeah, and
Get
if they
your
can't
shit
get
together.
toys to people, that's what opens the doors. Or if they can't get toys, or if they can, but people see it's an obvious cash grab and see through, basically call bullshit, like with the Hermit, unfortunately. That's what turns people to go in. We'll just build our own or print our own. But that's a conversation for another week, right?
Yeah, we've talked before about how they've killed a lot of their goodwill there.
Yeah.
And when we do, and we definitely have a 3D printing and other such fun things episode coming.
Yes.
We will absolutely be revisiting that, and it's not going to be pretty.
yeah. I know what side of the fence I'm on, and I've got a good few number of stuff that's been printed, but the first one was the Hermit. That's what started it. That's what started the avalanche.
Yeah, I got an alternative model, and I feel feathers.
Yeah. Anyway, right, back to this update. Back to some positivity. Well, Signal.
To the stuff that they're actually doing right now, and I can give them credit for.
Yeah, they're doing right now, and they're doing it right now. So good on them. So Sons of the Tempest.
That's where it's due.
So this is like this was talked about in the initial update, that all like the gun mages were basically getting the keyword. So if they were gun mage, they now have the gun mage keyword. If they were missing it somehow, so it lists like the models. So it's Kane's Hellsingers, Captain Alistair Kane, Sloane, gun mage, obviously, just a long one. Lieutenant Alistair Kane. So it's Kane 1, or basically the Kanes. Sloane, Arcane Tempest Rifleman, Black 13th, and Tempest Blazers.
What does Pistolier give you again?
Oh, have a look. Pistolier, I think, is boosted damage rolls in melee on charge. I don't know the exact wording. I should check. Let's check on the wording, because buggers if I know off the top of my head the actual wording, because it's been some time. Who's actually got Pistolier at the moment?
I don't know. I'm actually trying to. I'm hunting on Warroom.
This shows you how they haven't been played, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, geez, gun mages have been a thing of the past for ages. Right up there with mittens and ret.
Yeah, they've been one. Let's have a little look.
I'm looking. Does the gun mage Captain Adept have Pistolier? No.
I'm pretty sure it's boosted damage on melee if you charge with your gunfighter, you get boosted damage rolls. So essentially, it's like it means that you can actually get some work out of melee guns, essentially, rather than being sad and not ever getting a boost, which is cool.
I mean, that's quite a big boost. Then
it's pretty scary for Kane.
Yeah,
if Kane's
scarier with Blazers, man. The Blazers are speed 9. Although Blazers, I'm not too worried. Like, Blazers have the same problem as Raptors. They're really expensive to lose to one boosted power 14 shot.
Yeah.
Like they're too many easily boostable shots that can kill light cav.
Don't get rid of them.
I want them to be better. Like Raptors were a key part of my twins lists for so long.
Yeah.
But there's just too much that kills them.
Yeah, they're a little bit behind these days. It's weird, right? It's not like sort of change in things, but it's you can see the older things, and they've gone, they're way too far behind the curve now, when they might have been really good or at least half decent when they first came out.
Yeah, Raptors. I mean, Raptors, and now with this Blazers output, will still be fine. It's just they won't live long enough to make back their points.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But we'll see. I guess it depends on who you play them with as well. They've got obviously like a lot of maneuverability to like go in, shoot, get somewhere a little bit more protected, and it's not like Signar doesn't have a plethora of good buffs to like keep stuff alive, or just
this is true,
or just bring them back to life. It depends who you bring.
There's who can do that? Haley 3.
Haley, yeah. And Haley 3 loves infantry.
Oh, she does.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't seen trenches for a long time.
Yeah, it's going to be fucking horrendous, isn't it, if Haley 3 comes back in force?
I mean, it's such a good caster, and frankly, it's mostly pure envy on my part. Like, she looks like such a fun caster to play, but
cool. She's cool. I love how dynamic she is.
I will never play Signar as long as I live, so that can fuck off.
Yeah, but she's really interesting.
I'm so jealous
that she came out and she's such a different like design for a warcaster.
She's got such interesting options, man.
Yeah, it's cool.
She's got great assassination potential. She's just a well-designed caster.
Great attrition,
Yeah,
so
she brings her own defensive stuff. No,
so now we'll finish flicking off Haley because she's pretty amazing.
Flicking off Haley.
We'll move into the other Signar stuff and then move on. So these are very much just quality of life. So it's the rangefinder on the trencher team becomes 1 inch.
You're going to see a lot of these. Where some range becomes 1 inch.
Yeah,
like almost every ability. Virtually every ability that used to be base to base is moving to 1 inch.
Yeah, which is cool.
They're they're stopping models having to hang on top of each other.
Yeah, which is nice.
Interesting.
I think it's fine, and it's just literally like makes the game a little bit more enjoyable. Doesn't really make much impact at all. So it's easy. This next one though is for Menoth.
Avatar
is a fucking big buff. So. It's a rules cleanup.
This change?
So change wording of gauge amount to
rules cleanup. This isn't a straight rules cleanup.
This is a straight buff. This is enemy models beginning in advance while within 8 inches of this model and in its line of sight must advance, and then it carries on the rest of it, which is towards the avatar. So as it is currently, basically you stick your avatar down. It does its gaze, which is enemy models that begin their activation within 8 and in line of sight can only advance towards the model. But this affects everything. So any advance. So repo. So repo you can't get away from it. Side steps, you got to be going towards it. Anything that's an advance.
How is that different?
So
I'm reading the old one. I'm actually not sure that's true.
So if you start your activation within 8, you can only advance towards it, but that's it, right?
Okay.
So once you start, you either are in that area to start off with, and then off you go.
Yeah.
And that's it. So the bubble around it. Whereas now is
I'm reading the old one. I don't think it's actually different.
So So for one round, enemy models begin their activation within 8. Can advance only towards the model, right? So now, let me just double check it. I'm not, or is it updated on Warroom already?
No, it isn't.
That's right.
It's not updated.
One round, enemy models beginning in advance.
I actually think people were getting a bit carried away. I think this is exactly the same.
So at the moment,
just literally a wording.
Say I start my turn and I'm 10 inches away from Avatar. I charge Avatar, or I charge something next to Avatar. But because I haven't started my activation within the 8-inch bubble, I can then do side steps and I can do repo or sprints, that sort of thing. Whereas
the new one's exactly the same. Enemy models beginning in advance while within 8.
So if I start my If I start my activation
beginning
outside of the
okay.
8, then go in,
Yes.
I basically ignore
Okay.
it. Whereas now, with the new version is, if you go into the bubble, it then affects you.
It will.
So-
Well, if you go into the bubble, it will affect you if you do any extra advances.
Yeah,
So
yeah, but it
if you
means
start
it shuts down
Yeah.
repo, it shuts down sprint, it shuts down like side steps,
sprint,
overtakes.
sidestep. Okay, that's
Um,
interesting.
Whereas previously, as long as you were outside that 8 inch at the start of your activation, you ignore the
fine.
whole thing, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Okay.
is interesting.
Interesting.
So I think it's even more lockdown potential for the Avatar, basically,
Sure. Why not?
because it needed it.
I mean, Avatar was being left out of the world for ages. Sarenia discovered she could make him gross.
And then it was
it's not gonna make
everywhere,
any-
and now it's going to
be
be
the same.
everywhere more. Except for there'll also be, I think, Cyrenia.
I don't think this is enough of a buff that's going to see him anywhere he wasn't being played before.
Yeah, maybe not. It's super hard to tell, right? Before we see what else is coming.
The only thing it's doing is it's shutting down like after movement stuff, which is
Yeah.
super rare anyway.
Do you think?
Like after activation stuff, is not a lot of it.
I don't know. Sprint, repo, dodge.
Is there really that much of it? You
I think
think?
there's quite a bit of it. Yeah. I think so.
Okay,
I'm
I'm
But
not
I think-
convinced.
I think generally this is my hot take of the evening is I think Cyrenia is going to be an absolute monster. Like she's obviously without having the shield guards to rely on for faithful masses. I think it's going to. I just foresee like the other themes in Menoth getting buffs and buffs enough that Cyrenia is going to flip over.
Like I was saying before, I don't see any reason not to play in Faithful Masses. So you don't. So you play with one less solo,
Yeah.
but you rejig the points and you've got the same list.
Yeah, but we know what people are like, right? You throw them in the bin.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, we're gonna get the usual Menoth players just throwing all their toys out the cot.
Yeah.
Realistically, drop one solo from your list, rejig where your requisition points go,
But
and
if-
you're gonna have the exact same list, short one solo.
But if like the exemplars, like if the stuff in that list get a little bit of a tune-up, they're really good models. So they could
will,
be horrific.
And with Gravis, I mean, Knights Exemplar have the same threat range as bloody Texas Raiders, which pisses me off no end.
Yeah.
Like, well, they don't. They're 1 inch short.
Are you on?
Seriously.
I'm not sure if you're on Twitch as well. Chapter Master
Oh, yeah?
Cantor is saying justice for Menoth.
Justice for Menoth.
I think Menoth are about. Yeah, I don't know. I remember how strong some of the old Menoth infantry lists were, and I'm just like, and that's before Cyrenia. That's gonna just be like
Menoth infantry and Menoth solos, man. It always just throws me how much damage Menoth solos put out.
Yeah.
Like 3 Menoth solos will 100 to 0 an enemy heavy. Like, come on.
With some
This
spare.
shit's not okay.
With some spare,
Yeah.
probably. Yeah, I think my hot take is Menoth are probably gonna. I just can see them. I just can see into the future. Menoth are gonna be fucking horrific infantry lists again. We'll see. I might be wrong.
You know what? I actually hope so. I want to see infantry back in the
It'd be nice.
game.
It'd be nice.
I liked the infantry game. I thought it made for some very interesting trade-offs.
So the next one. The next one is the Wolves of Winter benefit for Kador, which is now the infantry buff,
This is an interesting one.
and it's a sideways buff, I'd say, right? So I know some people are looking at it and going, it's a nerf because, and then the justification. So, for quickly go over it. So basically, so the benefit about apparition in the theme is before you take your first turn, choose up to 2 friendly non-warcaster Doom Reaver or Grey Lord units to gain an apparition token. So it's effectively like having an upkeep spell on them. At any point during an activation phase, you can remove an apparition token from a friendly unit. If you have fewer than 2 apparition tokens, your warcaster can spend 1 focus point to put an apparition token on a friendly non-warcaster Doom Reaver or Grey Lord unit during its activation.
What's important to note is what this is replacing, which used to be at the beginning of your
your
I think it was in
control
your
phase,
maintenance
or your
phase,
you
or was it in your control? You could pick
choose a unit.
one of those qualified units, and you could apparate them 2 inches.
So
So I know a lot of people think this is a nerf or it's a little sideways. I think this is a buff.
yeah. So the
Straight up,
argument for
you're
it being
apparating 2 units.
Yeah.
It's just straight up 2 units. Here's the thing: all the lists that you're playing in Wolves of Winter are really aggressive lists. They're not very hardy. They're like armor shit. They're lots of single wound infantry. They don't survive long. They're there to hit early, hit hard.
Yeah.
Which means being able to apparate 2 units on turn 2 and turn 3 is gold.
Yeah.
Just right up there. To be able to threaten further up the board by apparating 2 if you get first turn with your AD Doom Reavers is gold. So I think this is a straight up buff.
Yeah. So the argument, if anyone's watching and doesn't get why people are saying it might be a nerf, is the argument is currently it can be any one of the units. So the enemy has to be expected to take the blow from one. But the argument against that is that's fine. But what if it's 2 of the units?
4 units and you've got 2 of them.
Because
you've got 2 units. You've got so much more threat. This one has a little more counterplay.
Yeah.
You can say, those are the 2 units with apparition. I'm going to sandpaper those 2 units. The other 2 don't have the extra threat range.
Yeah.
So this one does have more counterplay, but I think that's a very easy trade-off for a second unit of apparition.
Yeah, and essentially you go, well, a unit of Doom Reavers threatens 11 or threatens 13 with apparition. But rather than going, like, it could be any of them, you just go, well, I know it's those 2, but both of them are like poised to be rammed down my throat, and if flank feats, they're charging me from 16 inches away, and that means that both units are charging me.
You're never going to put all 4 or 6 of you that guy. You know, if you've brought that many units, you're not going to put them all at max distance anyway.
Yeah.
You're not going to have more than 2 units that are threatening the far edge of your threat range. So.
And if you get the advantage,
I don't see it as a nerf
if you get the advantage that you're going to get the jump, you're going to get the alpha anyway. Having one of your units apparate versus 2 units, you know, if you're the one that's going, like if you basically you have to be engaged, right? Your opponent has to come forward, or you just basically just go, well, that's fine. I'll just control all the scenario elements and I'll win, and you've not even engaged me. So when you're there.
Horrific.
Then instead you're basically putting 2 units into your opponent on Vlad's feat turn rather than 1 unit if they're being really defensive. It's like, well, okay.
Remember, this is also Greylord units. That can be your 2 units of gun ponies with Zerks too. Yeah. Because that's what that means, an extra 2 inches of threat on that assassination on both units.
Yeah. No thanks. No thanks.
It's there. It's right here in front of you.
Yeah. Well, or any of them, right? On the Turnians, you know, especially if more infantry comes back, you go, my Turnians are both going to come forward. They're going to, is it Bands of Woe and make new Doom Reavers?
Well, so here's the thing. During your turn, you can shift the apparition around, which is interesting. So you apparate during your turn.
Yeah.
Both of the Greylord units go forward, and you know they're not going to survive next turn, so you shift the apparition tokens over in your turn. You know, because you know, you can spend a focus to put the apparition on a friendly non-warcaster. You've basically got an apparition upkeep. You've got a double cast apparition upkeep spell that you can use for 1 focus with infinite range. Like, I don't see a problem here.
Yeah,
I really don't.
I'd take it. And be happy.
I'd be very happy with this.
So let's get on to the rest. Let's see what else is actually impactful. So next one is for Retribution. So heavy rifle team, rangefinder 1 inch, same as before.
Okay.
Axis for convergence.
It's just a rules cleanup, so I didn't pay attention to
it. So any models currently in Axis's control range suffer curtail, which is -2 speed and strength that can't charge, slam, make, or trample. And friendly faction models inside the control range gain intensify, which is +2 speed and strength. I'm like, what's the difference? What is the difference? I'm going to quickly look at Axis's card.
Yeah, I was about to say.
As a good Convergence player, I have no idea what the difference is. I'll have to look.
You're saying good Convergence players don't play Axis?
No, Axis. Well, not anymore. No, not with the blockade Gaspy interaction down the drain. Let's have a little look. Yeah, there's like functionally,
it's just
that is actually just a rules cleanup. It's just it's not like a hidden meaning behind it.
I'm not even sure what it's cleaning up. I thought the previous wording was.
Yeah, currently it's enemy models in Axis control range. Suffer curtail. The current one is enemy models currently in Axis control range suffer -2 strength and speed, can't charge or slam or make tramples, power attacks. Friendly faction models gain +2 strength and speed.
The big thing that's happened here is they've added keywords: suffer curtail and gain intensify.
Yeah, in case something.
What those are.
Yeah, basically in case something stacks.
Okay, fine.
I guess it's future proofing or making it easier to make amendments in the future.
Sure.
The other stuff for Convergence is there's a fixed Hypatia, which is an actual nerf.
It's an actual nerf, but it's a nerf of an ability she was never really meant to have anyway.
Yeah. So currently you can.
Yeah.
So she gives angels inside a command range apparition. She's an angel, so she gets it as well, which means you can currently apparate models at one end of her command range, then apparate her away from them to essentially extend her bubble to capture another unit.
Yeah,
and
steal
it's basically
an extra 2 inches of command, basically.
It's minimal, and that's just been like removed, which is fair. So now it's only at the start of your turn for any angel models within the command range gain apparition. So, easy peasy. Next thing is the Obfix Directive, all terrain and weapons modulations at 1 inch, and servitors pooping out of the TEP battle engine are within 1 inch. So same again as before. The 1 inch thing isn't very. That's just like a quality of life thing. That makes things a bit easier. And then mercenaries.
Reinhold is an interesting one.
Warcaster benefits become while within command. I think Reinhold had a bunch of stuff that was in base to base. If I remember right.
Here we go. Reinhold, Gobbo Speculator.
Oh yeah, the Warcaster benefits are while within base to base. Choose one of the following special rules: Lucky Charm, Reload, and Spyglass.
So that's quite big.
That's really
From
good.
base to base to command to 4 is actually quite big. I don't know if it's going to be enough to get Reinhold on the table.
I guess it depends who with. Like Kane.
That's interesting.
Maybe Kane, extra shot for Kane. Are those days coming back?
Oh God, no! Please no.
Please, but Kane would just be like, "I'll shoot your first heavy to death. Now I'll shoot your second heavy to death. Now your third heavy."
Please, God no.
See how I feel?
Well, I mean, yeah.
We'll see.
I mean, does Reinhold belong with Sloan? I don't know.
Maybe that's an easy extra shot for Sloan.
Yeah. But that's very simple. So the next one is fascinating. Seduction within 3.
Yeah.
And the reason it's fascinating is it's not very good on the 3 models they've mentioned. It's really, really good on the one model that actually has it that they forgot to mention because, as usual, Privateer hates Cricks. And that's the Warwitch Siren. And the Warwitch Siren really does love this change. It's speed 7. It's speed 7, stealthy with Pathfinder.
And parry.
Parry. That's now a 10-inch threat to seduce a model out of the way, to get rid of shield, to break up a shield wall, which is quite a big deal, which we'll talk about shortly. Like, the Warwitch Siren loves this. This is the first, really cool buff. Just
to quickly go over it in case people
not mentioned.
So in case people aren't used to seeing the rule used,
yeah.
Seduction is take control of a living enemy, non-warcaster, non-warlock warrior model, base to base with this model. Immediately make a full advance, followed by a basic melee attack, and then Seduction expires. Can't be targeted by 3 strikes, and can only be targeted by Seduction once a turn.
And Seduction, really important note is Seduction is a star action. It's not an attack. You don't have to roll a dice for it.
Yeah.
There's no dice roll. There's no prevention. It's just, hey, look, you got there. Come here, do my thing.
Hey, Booby 3, can you just go over there and hit those dudes for me?
Damn straight.
Or is there a better target? Booby and Bumble's probably the best targets for Seduction in the game.
Oh God. I just like it actually for. I just like it for moving things around.
Yeah.
Seduction on the enemy hermit to apply his debuff to their heavies before you kill him.
Yeah.
I have a lot of fun with Seduction. It's a great ability.
To the Dirge Seers have Seduction as well. No, they don't.
No, they don't.
No, they got a Summon Vortex, Hexbolt, and Guidance. I thought they did for some reason. So Seduction, that's pretty good though. I'd be happy with that.
I think Crix could be Crix should be the most happy with that. Maybe Cephalix with the Dominator. I don't really know Cephalix well enough to say one or the other.
Not sure. We'll see. We'll see what else happens, right? Because that's the thing. Each of these spoilers is going to be dependent on what comes next.
It is, but it's a big deal it's such a big deal for the Warwitch Siren because she's already so fast and so mobile and well protected for a cheapy
it's pretty cool.
solo.
It's pretty cool. Right, next is just quality of life stuff. So it's Commodore Karen getting a bunch of 1-inch stuff for them, for Herd and John. Into Trollbloods, Keg Carrier top off becomes 1 inches. Whelp shedding on the Mountain King becomes 1, and this is actually a buff, I would say.
That is a buff because you can really start kind of zoning out the
you can basically
places to actually
block.
get in contact
you can much more effectively block off landing zones for stuff that's going to go into the Mountain King.
It's a big deal.
It's that's interesting. Let's have a look, see what I'm just going to bring up my troll stuff. So if you just buy whelps, is that counted as the same thing? Troll whelps. Do they come out from spawn whelps rather than shedding? Okay, so spawning whelps, if you bought them, is within 2. So that's just as it is. So this only affects then the Mountain King then, so it doesn't affect it if you've just bought whelps on your own. But it's still, but the Mountain King just sheds whelps for free, so that's really cool.
Yeah.
I love the King models as well. I think all 3 of them. I hate the boat, but apart from that, I love all 3 Troll Kings. I definitely would paint one. I'd love to paint one. I'd probably love to paint a Sea King. But just do something instead of the boat, and I do
like the Sea King. The Sea King's pretty solid. It's actually got some serious guns on there down there.
That's kind of cool. Right, and then Scroll Bearers for Doomy. Scroll Bearer becomes 1 inch. Bountiful Restoration on Megalith becomes 1 inch. What is Bountiful Restoration?
That's it. Yeah, it's something I didn't even know existed, and I really should have. You know the way the Walled Wardens repair 1 when they activate?
Yeah.
They repair D3 with Bountiful Restoration. I actually had to look this up this afternoon.
So that's pretty cool then. So what? I'm guessing it's currently
neat,
currently is base to base.
Yeah, it's currently base to base.
But instead is a 1 inch all around. That's really good then. That's nice.
That's solid.
Because Circle just needs a bit more help.
Because Circle needed help with the damn walls. I just want the living war beast. Actually, no, I want a lot in Circle to be fixed. I want the living war beasts. I want wolf sworn models, and I want the damn druids.
Yeah,
I don't want the rocks and sticks. I don't care about the rocks
sticks
and
stones. Already break our bones.
Spawn are fun, but not this.
Yeah,
It's
they're
really
not
the
really-
Wolfsworn.
yeah.
It's Wolfsworn and werewolves I wanted, man. That's
Yeah.
why I started the faction.
I can see.
Wolfsworn and werewolves. Like, come on.
So that is a really cool. That's very much a buff though, rather than just quality of life. Proteus's
those are
crawling
buffs.
chaos becomes 1 inch.
Crawling chaos. So that's his
Does
animus,
it drop defense down to 5, or does it drop your defense by a certain number? I can't
No,
remember.
it doesn't do anything to defense. It
Oh.
stops you move. It effectively shadow binds you with no way to what's it called? It shadow binds you until the model is dead. So it's his animus. It's an expensive animus, but like
There's
you can
2
use
in
that
it
to
to
lock
cast.
down a colossal. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a sad pill to swallow.
It's interesting. But yeah, so that used to be it was base to base, and it's now 1 inch. Like, okay, fine. I still don't see it getting a whole lot of use.
Yeah.
Like, Proteus is too expensive to really make use of it.
Yeah, plus -2 defense and can't advance except change facing.
Yeah.
Like, I think this was discussed as one of the potentials for the slaughterhouse. It's like, when is your slaughterhouse going to be a base to base with all these models? It's like,
Really, when you finally get it into base to base, do you really want to waste 2 fury on an animus? Come on.
yeah.
If you're
You
getting into
don't want
base to
that.
base,
You
it
don't
needs
want
to
that
be
stuff to be
hitting
base to
things
base
to the
with you
front
anymore.
With the half-inch reach front door.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go past my pain.
I'm gonna try not to just sob and let's move on.
Yeah. So yeah, Proteus's crawling chaos. Yeah, we probably still never see it being used. Proteus
We'll
will
still
be
never
used,
see it being used. Proteus still sees use, but
yeah.
not with that animus. Yeah.
And then Scorn is just the 1 inch prodding and reload. I guess prodding
Sure.
from beast handlers might be
Fine.
a little bit of a buff, but not like massive.
I mean, I've never seen anyone be out of range that they need it.
Yeah.
But maybe it means they survive a little bit
Yeah.
in case of AOE's. I don't know.
Who knows? Who knows?
I don't think it makes a difference.
No, not really. I think the next section here is like multi-faction stuff. So these are like the more sweeping areas. So the shield walls
this
order is
is
the first one,
interesting.
which is interesting.
This is big. This is a big
so
one.
we're adding a sentence to shield order, which is when receiving this order, a model can forfeit its combat action to gain +3 inch movement as part of its normal movement this turn.
It's really interesting.
So that is pretty cool.
And so also note a model, not the units. So you can say have your front 3 models, shield wall, walk up, make their attacks shield wall, and your back 3 that can't reach anything can then get the extra 3 inch movement.
Yeah.
So
cool.
this is a really
And-
big quality of life change.
quite a few of
for
the
shield wall then.
quite a few of the shield wall models have got access to repo from something. Like piggybacks can, right, with the UA. I think
So not
Halberdiers,
so that
shock
no,
troopers.
so that that's not repo. It's defensive formation, and they've got a fix to that coming right now.
Okay, right. So
they're
next
not,
is
they're not letting us double. They're not letting us double dip with the mini feeds.
fair enough. Okay, so the next one is as Evan said, defensive formation, which is it ensures, it literally says it ensures you don't double dip.
Yeah,
So it's
that's
basically
exactly it.
just clarifies it and goes, this activation, models not affected by shield wall can benefit from this, which is fine.
So that was there were a couple of units. So piggybacks, Iron Fangs, Vorkesh with whatever unit he belongs to, and Exemplar Incinerators. They've all got shield wall, and those UAs all give them a mini feat, a once per game ability to either run and shield wall, or to charge and then shield wall.
Yeah.
And basically defensive formation, and what they're saying here is, look, you can't do that. If you choose one, you're gonna either get the extra movement from defensive formation, or you're going to get the 3 inch from shield wall buff. Like you can't do both. You're not getting an extra 8 inches.
What I recommend if you want a shield guard unit that moves far is just play reciprocators and obstructors with the Aurora 1. Cast aerogenesis and feet. So give them +2 speed, +3 speed from sacrificing their combat action, and then repo 5 at the end of it. There you go.
Or you know what? If you want a resilient unit that goes too far up, you've got 3 weeks to play champions with Boom Howlers with
Hoofit
before he gets nerfed. Before Hoofit gets nerfed.
And then the next one, Crusader's Call. How has this changed? Let's have a look. So it's got friendly faction models beginning a charge as part of its normal movement. Getting +2 inch movement.
What was it before?
I'm just looking at Harbinger because I'm like, isn't that just what it is? What's the difference? Where's my Harby list? Friendly faction models beginning a charge in the spellcaster's control range, gain +2 inch movement. Charge as part of its normal movement. So as part of its normal movement being the critical part, how does that affect it? Does that affect something like counter charge maybe? So it's not. So counter charge isn't part of your normal movement because you're charging outside of activation.
If you've just gained +2 movement, and this is limiting it, beginning a charge as part of its normal movement. I mean, counter charge, you can never counter charge so far. Your counter charge is never so short that you need the extra +2.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm not quite. Okay, fine.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
They claimed it's a rules cleanup, and fine, it's a rules cleanup, but it seems unnecessary to me.
Yeah.
Fine.
The next one, though.
Confusing than anything. Okay, finally something I'm genuinely excited about. Woohoo!
Again, because Circle have had poor Circle.
That's right.
Poor Circle have had Kruger Kruger's ultimate power over everyone is now only majesty over everyone. So they need to give something back. So obviously they've given the Megalith buff. And
the reason you know that there is a god and that god loves us is that Circle Christmas never ends.
Yes.
And
so Primal
Christmas.
Primal's been changed, so it now gives you +1 POW on your melee weapons.
+1 strength, +1 mat, and it used to be +2 strength. It used to be +2 strength, +2 mat,
and frenzy.
You would guarantee frenzy.
Yeah. So
which is a bit of a nightmare when So it's a little bit sad for the light beasts that like to rely on it. So like playing Uno with griffins.
Yeah. But for Storm Raptors.
For Storm Raptors,
any heavies,
it's a massive
basically.
Deal.
Especially heavies that have sprint, right? So you get your Warpable Stalkers in. You hit super reliably. You hit hard enough with your buffs from various other forces, and then you sprint away and go. I'm not sprinting back to then give up my activation next turn, and either have to face in a direction where you're not going to frenzy or anything.
It's such a big deal on Warp Wolves because Warp Wolves are such expensive beasts that you can't afford for them to frenzy.
Yeah, if you pile them in,
unless you're hitting, it's never a good trade unless you're hitting like a colossal.
Yeah. If you pile them in,
or you hit also
and then
stupidly expensive like with Deathjack.
Yeah, if you pile them in and expect them to die, fair enough. But if you pile them in and they might not die, or they can sprint out to a safe position, then you're giving them up. Yeah, you're either leaving them sat there for the next turn to then die, or you're just losing a complete activation. At which point, you're using huge amount of output. So yeah, I know Circle players who would never cast Primal because of that. So yeah, I think that's definitely a buff.
I mean, you always had, Primal was always an option to use, but it needed to be. it wasn't part of your game plan. Like non-circle players would say, "Oh, you complain about your wolves, whatever. You've got +2 mat and strength." It's like you're throwing away that beast. That better be something big it hits.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So yeah,
it was always part of your toolkit, but it was a rough.
I guess especially when you go for like an all-out, like just an all or nothing assassination at the end, then having the extra +1 is good, but general gameplay is a buff.
And quite important in the notes here is that all the war beasts, almost all war beasts that currently have relatively cheap access to primal, will be getting a +1 power on their melee weapons or on their strength, depending on what makes sense.
Yeah. So basically,
that's big.
That's big.
So I mean, that's the feral, that's rock. Maybe not the Gorax, but who cares?
Yeah, the Gorax won't really matter
Probably
too
not
much.
the battle boar. Probably not the battle boar. I mean, that's a lot.
Even if it did, I don't think it'd matter again so much. But yeah, importantly,
not a big deal.
on the feral and rock is pretty cool.
Yeah, so it's a little bit sad for the Griffins and the Argyle that were relying on it.
Yeah.
But overall, like, this is paving the way to Warp Wolves being playable again.
Yeah.
And I'll take that every day and twice on Sundays.
Yeah, it'll be cool to see
very much.
how much extra it goes. And the next one is a very interesting one. So
this is
Shield
interesting.
Guard and Sack one, and basically the crux there's a lot of text, but the crux is they can be used once. So Shield Guards can be used on an attack. Yeah, an attack can only benefit from one of them being used, but you can do one of each if you wanted. So you could Shield Guard and Sack Pawn, or vice versa, but you can't.
Yeah.
But the days of being able to chain a shot like 3 or 4 Shield Guards down the line for whatever reason are gone.
It's really big.
Which is big, but I pointed out earlier when the chats are in, the Shield Guarding out of formation hasn't been closed as a loophole, which I think is more prevalent. Like I think I see that more than chaining shield shots away.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see if that might.
Every time I ever saw this, there are 2 lists where this was common. So the first one hasn't been seen for ages. This was like your destruction initiative list.
Yeah.
Where you had 15 bloody servitors on the field, and I remember this being a pain. You'd try to shoot, say, a Blightbringer shot to give yourself your strength buffs.
Yeah.
And this would get chained all the way down to the corner and do nothing.
Yeah.
And also similar nonsense with what's her face? With initiates.
Yeah.
Initiates of the Wall. There were absolutely enough shield guards to pull this sort of chaining rubbish.
Yeah. So it's gone. It will go. But yeah, like I said, I'm surprised that they didn't close the loophole of having models out of formation shield guarding. This is like most prevalent in Flames, where you'll take multiple units. They'll each have a priest or more each, but that priest will run into the other unit and then basically be like, yeah, I'm here to essentially trigger vengeance on that unit at the other side of the table. If you shoot something near me, I'll shield guard it. Then I'll give vengeance to the rest of my pals over there.
Fuck yes.
So that's pretty shitty, and that needs to be that is a loophole that needs to be closed in. But yeah, I'm obviously we're waiting. It could be that they just put something in a little bit like you can't put cast spells your own stuff that's out of formation. They might just put a something in similar that will be you can't use benefit from whatever's on your card ability wise like this if you're out of formation. That'd be obviously a bit more nuanced in the wording, but the intention can be there, and they could find a way to go, if your stuff's out of formation, it can't use its stuff to do this sort of maneuver, basically, as if for lack of a better word.
Yeah, exactly.
So see, and that's a lot of them.
Yeah. So, like I say, there wasn't a lot. I was expecting a little more impactful.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if we saw like just double this and that was the level of buffs, I wouldn't expect infantry to make any headway into the meta.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really hoping to see something a little more exciting next week.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens next week, because it could be anything, right?
Yeah, the most exciting I've seen there is, is Circle, because I appreciate Circle Christmas. We should all have Circle Christmas in our lives.
It's a hard life indeed. So, let's move on to the last thing we were going to talk about, which was going to be the 0 level Warlocks. So,
Zeros. Okay, so which one do you want to start with?
Let's do it in Warroom order. So we'll start with Trollbloods.
Okay, cool. So who is our 0 level? Is that Doomy?
I'm looking at units. Should be. It's Mandrak, right?
I have no idea. That's why I was asking.
Was it Doomy? Was it Mandrak? Mandrak Ironhide.
Yeah.
Mandrak Ironhide, champion of the Creels.
So okay.
So I am looking at these for the first time. So
I don't think any of these have changed since the spoilers, so we're not giving anyone new information.
Yeah.
But we'll probably be confirming things. So he's still a beast. I mean, 13, 17 with tough and 8 boxes. Like,
yeah, 4 Fury as well.
He's not mucking around.
And he's got Bracer and Jackhammer.
Yeah, he's the same. So Jackhammer's an interesting one. I don't know if it's going to be like the savior, but I've always liked Jackhammer as a spell. The ability to run a beast and then just jackhammer down is nasty.
Like that's 4. Like if he wants to be 8 inches behind, can they take a king 8 inches behind and bounce a king, jackhammering him?
And Bracer. Trolls don't actually have a lot of armor upkeeps, so this is actually a really big deal for Troll Beast Bricks.
And he's got henchmen. Did you have henchmen before?
They get the stones, and so the henchmen. I don't really rate the henchmen. Like that's a weird one. +1 mat and rat. What does lifelink do?
Transfer for free.
I'm not a great fan of that.
But obviously he's going to want to take like an Axe and Impaler often will fit into your list, right? And if he's got a range 8 gun, so he takes the Impaler to give himself snipe every turn to have a bit more of impact with his gun. It then does that as well, and he's got a free transfer to it, so it makes him a bit more survivable.
And it's still a power 14 gun, so
it's not bad. I think it's pretty decent.
I think Brace is honestly the biggest thing he's bringing here. Trolls don't have much in the way of upkeep armor spells.
Yeah.
They rely very much on the stones, so stacking
Bracer,
something with the stones
and then
is big.
Righteous Vengeance for him personally is been pretty good. Obviously, just like Faye said, he wants to be surrounded by.
He's
dudes.
A one-shot solo. I don't see that's a big deal.
I guess it's like if you're trying to block him and make use of the Echo, so. But that's like that's a bit of a trap thing, I think. If you're using Echo, Stone Shard.
Wait, what? Sorry, what? Echo?
The Creelstone Echo on his melee weapon is if he hits an enemy model, friendly faction models gain +2 arm within 4 inches. So that's like essentially a +4 arm swing for something near him.
It's a nice bit of brick, but sure.
But
he's going to be such a target when you do that.
Yeah.
I suppose he goes up to armor 19 when you do that, so not bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can stick Bracer. Is Bracer beast only? Yes, it is. Yeah.
It's beast only. And it means that beast can't be pushed or shoved or anything like that. You've now got a solo that says. Yeah, but you've now got a solo that says "fuck you" to Kruger.
Yeah.
No gallows now.
And anything in base to base with it as well can't be pushed, knocked down, etc.
Yeah,
which is nice.
You can TK first and then gallows. So there are ways around that, but the actual model itself can't be gallows.
Luke's pointing out stacks with a stone, right? So if he does hit something, he's armor 19. Stone takes him to 21.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's a beefcake, and then he's getting
solid.
Then he's getting his free transfer.
Transfers.
Yeah, a free transfer, and however many transfers he's got top,
He
so
is
at
very
least be
beefy.
3, right? Yeah. It's interesting. It's of course a nice new tool for Trollbloods.
I don't know if he really opens up that much. He might bring Troll Beast Bricks back into the game, which would be interesting.
Yeah, it would be nice. Yeah, would be cool. Right, so Circle of Kruger is next.
Here you go. Circle Christmas has ended. You're welcome.
Kruger the Stormseer. So he's Blacklad, which is important for Secret Masters because they get sack pawn, right?
Yeah.
Fuckers. And then he's Fury 4, range 10, AoE 3 on his Lightning Blast.
Yeah, which does have reload 1.
And
he's only Rat 6.
And then its models in the AoE are hit and suffer a power 10 electoral damage roll. And it's a hazard that stays in play. So it's not blast damage, it's just that you take power 10. In case the removal of blast damage protection wasn't enough. You know. Just let him shit on those angels a little bit harder. And then he's 14/14 with Pathfinder. He's kept bleed power, which is the whole gaining fury from construct models.
Yeah, so that's quite interesting. He doesn't have to take a lot of battle group. He can just fuel himself with.
Yeah, he can stick a unit of stones around him and be like, sweet, I'll get 3 fury off that.
Or he can send his battle group out to die and do their thing.
And not worry that he's gonna lose out.
Not worry, and he's just a super solo still. So that's pretty good.
And he's got lifeline, so he can transfer for free to any war beast, not just part of his battle group.
Not even as part of his battle group. So he's super.
Why make it hard for him? Poor guy.
Well, because he's not a beefcake like old Madrak. He's a 14/14.
Yeah.
He's not a beefcake.
Yeah, Luke's pointed out over on Facebook that FaZe said that Makeda and Madrak will make more sense when the new changes come through. So I think that'll be essentially the buffs to their infantry. So you'll want to have more of them with them, I guess. But we'll see.
Well, Faye, I hope you're listening. I'm waiting for more exciting stuff for infantry because you've shown us nothing. I'm waiting.
But yeah, Kruger gonna be in a lot of lists because
no. You haven't paid attention to the 2 things that actually matter.
I was gonna say he's gonna be in a lot of lists because of his spell list and nothing else. Which is Lightning Blade and Fleeting Storm. So Lightning Blade,
my god,
+2 to melee damage rolls, and gives you range 2 on your melee weapons.
I've seen people choose casters because of this many good spells.
Yeah, he's better than some casters in Circle.
Una 2 is chosen because she's got effectively this type of, slightly better, equivalent-ish spells to this and a 2-inch feet. That's why Harrison's playing Una 2.
Fucking good. Yeah, it's really...
Holy fuck.
Harrison was messaging me earlier. He's like, check out this tech. Fucking Harrison is like, I love him, but my god, he loves the dojo, and the dojo he
really does.
The dojo is Kruger, Tanith, Una, repeat, and he's like basically check out my big birds. Tanith bring in the power 26 Storm Raptors.
But you need to know you've got a light day. The kids are out. You don't have a lot busy for you don't have a lot on your plate at work.
I love dojo and talking lists.
You're going to be in here for 5 hours with him.
Oh, thanks Luke for the share. Appreciate it. Yeah, so just a flat +2 damage swing because the Circle just lost. Circle just lost a point of damage on those from that primal.
Sorry, +2 damage and 2-inch reach.
Yeah.
2-inch reach on your feral warp wolves or on all of your goats.
Pretty good.
Pretty good, man. Kruger is like this was the entire reason you ever played Kruger 1.
Yeah.
Was to be able to put down an upkeep for a 2-inch reach.
Yeah.
And this gives you strength plus
Is that
2 strength
is that
as well.
Lightning Shroud? It's basically Lightning Shroud, right? But yeah.
It's better than Lightning Shroud. Lightning Shroud doesn't give you plus 2 strength. It just gives you the 2-inch reach and it gives you Electro Leap.
Yeah, and
this gives you plus 2 strength. Come on.
So in a vacuum, right? In a vacuum, if Kruger just had one spell, you'd take him, right? You'd just take him for this spell. It wouldn't matter if his second spell was shit.
For this spell.
If the second spell he
I wouldn't
had,
give a shit if he didn't have a second spell.
Yeah.
Just this would be enough.
He still have it. Except for
Right.
he does have a second spell, and it's also fucking bullshit.
What is that spell? Pray tell.
Oh, well, it's a 2 cost, so that means you can cast it more than once, and it's a 3-inch cloud. That if you're completely within enemy, enemy ranged attacks.
Upkeep. Jesus Christ, it's not upkeep.
No, it's not. You
God.
stack it. Enemy ranged attacks with a range greater than 8 inches.
Oh fuck.
The range is -3. And it's not the same ability. It's just a flat thing, right?
Oh no.
So you stick 2 of them on top of something, and give -6 to that big gun you just hit.
I think there was
They
something
gotta fix that, right?
You can't stack. You can't stack, but you can still happily stick it in front. You can protect 2 beasts.
I'm pretty sure you can stack it. There's no wording to it. So if you read it,
I thought there was something mentioned last week.
It's not. It gives. They
need
need to put something in it blatantly to fix it, because currently it's just you've got the 3-inch cloud. When a model completely within the AoE is targeted, the attack suffers -3 range. So it's not the gain like whatever wind bullshit as an ability, as like a thing.
You don't gain long shadows or whatever.
Kruger's middle finger as a rule. It's just a thing. So you can stick 2 of them on the same same thing.
We need to be able to stack it because we can't take him in Kruger list.
Well, yeah.
We need it.
It's a way that Kruger can have -6, and then you go. Then you look for the table with fucking the new terrain on it, and you go, "It's okay. It's okay,
fuck.
Boys and girls, people of whatever flavour you want to be." Kruger is my main list. Is my off list because I've got whatever caster with Kruger 0 in the other list.
It's so good. I love it.
Yeah.
And now you're not going to be scared to cast Primal, so you've got +1/+3 on any beast you want.
Yeah, that's not bad, is it? Plus, then, say for instance, then, if your caster had maybe Curse of Shadows as well. Plus, and maybe if you played in a theme that lets you bring lots of mercenaries, like, say, the Hermit, or say someone with like Dark Shroud, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? It's a pretty fucking.
Circle's too fast for Hermit. The Hermit's not really an issue, but yeah.
Yeah, but it kind of is, right? Because you stick -6 range on him when he runs up the table. So the first turn, nothing can shoot him, and the second turn, he's in front of the enemy army.
Oh God.
Just saying. Just saying.
I mean, all these things are possible.
They are possible.
Possible, probable, coming to a table near you.
Circle bullshit.
Circle Christmas.
Never fucking ends. I don't understand. Poor Circle.
Oh, fucking Circle.
They have had a hard life. At some point in a previous life, Circle were really hard done by, obviously. So, all I can assume is whoever plays Circle at privately oppressed like headquarters just is shit. And they're like, dude, every time we play against like Jojo, every time we play Jojo, he gets smashed. We need to give him some more. Look, he's putting this Kruger guy on the table, and he's just getting fucked every. Just give him some more abilities. At some point, they'll start winning, and we can stop buffing Circle.
Jojo.
Meanwhile, Jojo is a champion.
Jojo, you keep eating that paste and doing your thing, buddy.
Yeah.
I have faith in you.
Yeah, Jojo currently is like secretly fucking. He has like a Patreon and a fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, he has like a Patreon account.
Feeding it
which slowly getting just like money. just slowly getting the pyramid scheme money from all the circle players going. Just accept your weekly beating by the Priority Oppressed like playtest team, and we will be happy. So yeah,
money well spent, guys. Keep that Patreon going. Money well spent.
So it's a minimum of 8, obviously, as Luke's pointed out. But still, it's all about the big threat guns being easier to avoid. But so with that epic rant about Circle having a fucking easy life. Circle is like the Etonian fucking heiress who complains that they have a hard life to someone who's like crawled out of the gutter after they've like been fucking
because the rubies on her slipper clash with the emerald on her belt buckle.
Yeah, and they look a little bit garish when sat next to like this homeless vet or something. They're like, "Oh, darling." So yeah, thanks Alice for the follow. So yeah, let's move away from fucking. Let's move on to Legion. It's happy place. How's Thagros come out? So Thagros come out with Fury 5.
So I'm not sure about Thagros. He's really interesting. I just don't know if I'd ever. You're effectively going to trade him for a Blight Archon.
Why?
Because
why is Thagros 0? But none of the other Thagroshes are weapon masters.
Because the other Thagroshes are like power 16 and 18. They don't need to be weapon masters.
But like, why the fuck did they stop carrying this knife? Like, Thagros with his big fucking with his Hulk hand should be carrying this weapon master knife blatantly, not that stupid fucking two-handed thing.
He upgraded to the two-handed thing, which got him to like power 16 in this
I guess he gets
version.
reach, right?
And, yeah, and power 18 in the fucking Messiah version. Like, yeah. He's upgraded from puny weapon masters.
Yeah. We'll see. So.
He's Fury 5, like no mucking about for Thags.
And he's got the Athank, which is super cool, which is similar to what we said about Kruger being able to play a little bit loose with his beast, not worry, because if his beast is off the table,
he just fills up.
Yeah.
He just fills up Fury straight up. He doesn't care.
Oh. Legionnaires is saying that the stream is freezing on. I've got no no dropped no drop rates or anything, so frames, so I'm not sure what's stream quality is looking fine. I have 2% frames have been dropped over like the last hour and 45 minutes. So
okay.
I know that's like nothing. It's not like a worry amount at all. It's like some kilobytes have been dropped basically. But if it's dropping and you're enjoying watching it, you can always watch it back on YouTube. Or listen to the podcast version. so thanks. Teach me thanks.
A really interesting point. So he has some really interesting stuff. So first thing to note is rapid mutation. At the beginning of his activation, he can spend 1 Fury plus 1 for each mutation he has gained previously.
Yeah.
And when he gains a mutation, he gains it for the rest of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So the 3 he's got. So the 1 is Defiant Rage, which I don't see being particularly valuable. When you're damaged by an enemy attack for 1 round, you get +2 strength, +2 armor. It's nice. It makes Beefy Boy a little more beefy. You're not going to use it very often, and you don't want him to get stuck in until late. Draconic Mastery, that's really interesting. Once per activation, you can cast an Animus of a friendly faction warbeast in your control range without spending Fury.
And again, outside of the battle group.
Yeah, outside of battle group, that's really nice. That's probably going to be your first turn mutation, unless you really want to abuse the next one, which is Rapid Mutation. Also really interesting. which is oh goddamn, how do you pronounce this thing? Ithranbal's Guidance.
Yeah.
While in this model's control range, models in its battle group can re-roll missed attack rolls. Each attack roll can be re-rolled only once as a result of Ithranbal's Guidance. So you can stick an Archangel on him, and that Archangel has re-rolls to hit, and that fixes their accuracy issues.
Yeah. Without having to bring light switches.
Without having to weaken or anything. So I could definitely see him fitting into some of the Bethane double Archangel type lists.
Yeah. Cheaper than taking the second Blight Archon.
Well, most of those lists only take one Blight Archon. In fact, most Legion lists only take one Blight Archon anyway, and that's where I say he's an interesting
And he can still be a feat target as well, because he's living.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, he is living, and he can transfer as well, so it becomes interesting. His spells are less obviously strong than the others we've seen.
I'm going to stop you for a second, though.
Yeah?
Who the fuck is Ithranbal? Is Ithranbal like Everblight's
I'm guessing
other draconic name, or someone?
I'm guessing that was probably. Remember, this is before he became Everblight's nonsense.
Yeah.
I'm guessing Ithranbal might be some sort of shamanic thing from the Ogren before they became blighted. It's pure guesswork, but that's what I'm going with.
Yeah, possibly. All right, carry on. I quite like the Legion stories and stuff, and I'm like, I don't recognise it, but it's been a long while since I've read it.
I don't recognise it as well. So his spells, like I say, less powerful than we've seen. So Fog of War, which used to be a really good spell, and there is so much Eyeless Sight and True Sight and fucking guidance and bullshit in the game that I just don't see that being useful at all.
But True Sight doesn't ignore concealment, right?
True Sight doesn't ignore concealment, but guidance gives Eyeless Sight.
Oh, look at this!
Just so much of this
in
shit.
The Twitch chat. Ithranbal is the Iosian name for Everblight, so the Elven name.
Oh, wow, okay.
Ad Solari, thank you, Lawmaster Ad Solari, coming in for the... I didn't know that, that's fucking cool.
For the win.
Well, that makes sense
awesome.
then, right? So Everblight's guidance, basically.
Everblight is Ithranbal, okay. Oh, I like that, that's going to rattle around in my head for a bit. That's very cool. So yeah, Fog of War, it has purposes. It could be really interesting if you're playing a lot of high defense stuff like the Angels.
Well, it puts him up to def 16, just stood in the open, right? And against normal shooting and spells. So he can easily be 16, 17 if you've warped him for Defiant Rage and Typhon is on the table. Like. That's legit, right?
That's interesting.
You're like,
that's legit.
What are you gonna do?
So Defiant Rage. Well, remember, Defiant Rage is only going to kick in after he's taken his first hit to the head.
Yeah, but he takes the first hit.
It's the biggest thing.
And he can transfer it, and he's still taking the hit.
Yeah.
And he can still rapid healing off it, stuff like that.
I must admit that's a very cool notion. Like.
Like he's pretty beef, right?
Yeah, he's quite limited in the themes that he can go in, which is one of the bitches. Yeah, I think he can only go in oracles and what's it called, and primal terrors.
I was gonna say he's got to go in primal terrors. Surely he's an Ogren.
Yeah, he's an Ogren. And look, he's quite important there because primal terrors has a serious lack of requisition options.
Yeah.
But yeah. So the next spell he's got is really interesting in any theme but Primal Terrors.
Yeah.
This is the weird thing about him. Blight Burst. So Abby 1's got the spell and doesn't get near enough use out of it. Basically, it's an AoE 4. It's an offensive AoE 4. The big thing is that it remains in play, and while in this AoE, enemy non-warcaster models cannot spend focus points, be used to channel spells, or be forced.
Yeah.
So, the prime way to use this would be run a tentacle, in front of where you want your war beast. You blast your own tentacle with this, and that's the landing spot that would charge in to hit your your
Archangel
Carnivian.
or whatever. Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah. Like an Archangel is too big. Someone will always find a landing zone outside of the AoE 4. But for a heavy, you can do nice things to limit it. And suddenly, Malik Khan's coming in, and he can't force for shit.
Yeah.
And that just drops everyone's, it drops your output by so much you survive. So Blightburst is really interesting, but I'm not convinced that he's in the right themes for it.
So, does Thagros 0 go with Abby 1, and you've got double Blight Bursts with
it's
Playing God?
It's really interesting, isn't it?
And then her rapid healing on all her battle group, and then rapid healing on him. It's like, who knows?
I mean, I've heard worse ideas.
There's some bullshit to explore there, right? There's some jank.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
And there's also the cool notion that he opens up taking Typhon with other casters outside of Children of the Dragon.
Yeah, because it's the War Beast bond, you can always take Typhon if he's in there.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
And Typhon is a really cool beast.
Yeah.
Like I like the opportunity to take Typhon. So yeah, he's
so as a current Legion player, what do you think? Have you taken him?
I'm interested enough to try him, but I'm not so excited that I'm reaching for him.
Have we seen the sculpt for this guy? Does he look okay?
I haven't seen the sculpt, but he's an Ogren, so I'm not going to care. I'm not going to like his sculpt no matter what they do. I don't like the Ogren. I'm not the target audience for Ogren. I like nothing about them. Yeah. Let's see what the Great Google tells us.
Oh right, it looks shit.
He looks like. I mean, it's going to look like an Ogren. What else?
He looks a little bit like. You know how.
I'm only seeing like
Amok
Prophet.
looks.
Where's? Okay. Ugh.
Have you seen him? He's got like one side horn going on, and he's got like a little. He looks a little bit like he's wearing a furry fucking.
Oh right, there we go. I found one.
Huge furry. It looks like someone's thrown an Ogren into like a party from like the 60s or the 70s.
Man,
he's got these huge fucking furry boots. This furry waistcoat thing going on. I'm not convinced. I'm not sold on the sculpt.
Man, it's like some sort of weird edgelord cosplaying as a Yeti.
Yeah, I'm not convinced by that sculpt.
It's a Hot Topic version of Yeti.
Let's have a little look. Let's have a little look at the other ones that we've seen. So Kruger sculpt. While we're at it, Kruger's sculpt looks okay actually. He looks basically like a druid with like a trident. He's got his evil goatee beard going on. Shows he's a baddie.
Yeah.
He shows he's bribed Faye for some buffs. Mandrak looks pretty cool actually.
Yeah.
Mandrak just looks
Barney
like
looks pretty cool as well.
Beefy guy. And we're about to look at. Have we looked at Makeda yet? Or we're looking at Makeda next?
No, Max. I think Max is up next.
Makeda looks like Makeda, basically. Like, all the Makedas look quite similar, I think. And then Barney's the last one we haven't seen. So Barnabas probably looks the coolest by like a factor of 10. Like,
he's a walking alligator, man. He's always gonna look cool.
And he's covered
Everybody
in,
loves
like,
Barney.
in bones and like trinkets, and he's got these like tiki sort of masks above his head and stuff like that. Yeah, he looks proper cool. So
Barney's a little bit like Helga. If you don't like those models, the problem is you. Like, there's just something cool about them. They're just so cool.
Yeah, Barney's cool. Right, so let's look at. So what was the end result? we're thinking
My end result
win
is
for-
I think it's a good addition to Legion.
Yeah,
Like,
that's cool.
he's going to see use. He's not super powered. I don't think he'll see a lot of use. I think he'll be edged out in favor of Blight Archons most of the time.
Yeah. And then
but you'll definitely see some use out of him.
And then we're looking at the Makeda next. So Makeda, what is she? Makeda of House Balash.
Of House Balash.
Yeah, very much looks like Makeda. She's Fury 4, she's a Weapon Master, Power 11, Magical Sword with 2-inch reach. 14, 16, only 5 boxes.
Yeah.
She's very much like off the, like, just looking at it, seems to be a super solo rather than like on par with the rest of them.
She's not tanky like the like old Madrak and Thags. And she's not breaking the world over her knees because she's not circle.
So she's got Hero of the People, which is when the model destroys one enemy models with a melee attack during the activation, and the friendly warrior models gain +2 to their attack rolls.
Really nice. It's really nice.
You've got to like.
And Sackborn Warrior means she's really interesting as well.
Yeah.
It becomes. She's a super solo with a way to deliver herself, which is big.
Right, she's only Mat 6, but she's got understudy, so she can use the Warlocks mat in place of their own if they're in the command range. That's pretty fucking cool.
That's weird. It's kind of cool. So it says, right, if you've got someone like Xerxes who can teach her to do better, great. If you're playing her with the fat man, well, she's just going to have to do it herself.
Just like live her life as she is. And then she's got Flashing Blade, so it just again shouts killy combat solo. And Celerity.
Yeah.
Faction warrior model unit gets +1 defense. And +2 movement. So she's really nippy, right? She sticks that on herself. So she's speed.
Yeah.
So she's up to 8. So she's threatening 13 just on her own, and defense 15. Like, that's
but
pretty
celerity on infantry units a really big deal, man.
Yeah.
+1 defense and +2 movement is big.
Yeah, you stick it on cats because they're like.
Oh fuck my life! They've already got high defense.
Are they cats speed 9?
Absolutely going to be the cat. They're speed 9. Oh god damn.
So you stick it on the cat on the pair of Ferox. Yeah, so they're speed 8. Sorry.
They're speed 8 base, so it becomes speed 10.
Effectively. Seems okay.
Speed 10. They become defense 14, speed 10. 14, 17, speed 10. That seems all right with a leap and boosted attack rolls in the rear.
When I was down in Wales.
All right,
when I was down in Wales in summer, we had like a practice game. At my old captain's house in Swansea, so we had four games on the go in the garden on like big benches, and it was like a lovely day.
Yeah.
And one of the guys from Cardiff showed up, and he had who was he playing? It might have been one of the Makedas with loads of cats.
It's usually the Makedas who play cats.
It's like they're walking threats like 18 inches or something.
It's like
what? And he'd converted them, and so he had like the Oriental like lion dog things instead, and it looks super cool.
Food dogs.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So I had those instead,
cool.
and then the Dragoon.
I must say, I love just the base Ferox models are amazing. I love the cats. Like, there aren't many models in Scorn I like. I tend to mock Scorn minis mostly.
Yeah, they got their fair share of ugly.
But the Hydra and the Ferox I adore. Those are just gorgeous minis.
But yeah, so I think she's come out a little bit different to the others. Very much so.
Yeah.
She's gonna.
Apparently, she'll make more sense with the infantry changes.
Yeah.
But I can see with good infantry, she's gonna tune up infantry a lot. Yeah. I can see a lot of value for her, And I suppose the same goes for for Thagrosh. Like, if you're not getting sprayed or either sighted off the table, and you want to bring infantry, like, if you've already got something like Swordsman, they're already defense 16 versus shooting.
Yeah.
Fog of War gets him to defense 18. That can get you across the table.
Seems okay. Seems alright, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right. One more because poor Grimkin. Poor Grimkin, who was the next in the war room order for Hordes factions, don't get one.
Grimkin need a 0 level. I don't know how you do a 0 level. Maybe they take their own. I want a 0 level with their own sacrifice.
Yeah.
Not sacrifice, with their own like mini arcana. A choice of 2 mini arcana for a 0 level.
Yeah, I don't know.
A 0 level Grimkin's warlock. You heard it here first, Faye. Come on.
Yeah,
I have faith in you.
There's room to grow in Grimkin, but instead we're going to look at the big gator,
Minions.
So Barnabas the Conqueror.
Because Jesus Christ, if Kruger 0 wasn't bad enough, look at this shit. Oh my God.
So, Fury 4. 13-16 with tough 8 boxes. But he's got a shield.
He's got a shield, so it's 13-17.
Or he's got a buckler or whatever it is, 17.
Yeah, it's a buckler.
So that's okay. Then he's got Battle Host. So add another 2 to his armor. So 19. And I'm just diving straight in for the spells because they're juicy. They're too juicy to not go in.
Jesus, are they good?
So Battle Host is just fucking good. Like, there's nothing that isn't good about Battle Host. +2 movement for War Beast in the battle group, and +2 armor for the caster while one of the battle group is within 3 inches of him. So yeah, who doesn't want just a flat +2 speed increase on any of the beasts you take in?
So he's only got 8 boxes with tough, and he's going to effectively be armor 19.
Yeah, before you involve anybody else.
Before anything else gets involved.
Yeah.
So he's a big beefy boy. He's up there with Madrak and Thagrosh.
And he's got two power 14 and a power 10 attacks. So it's okay. But then Blood Quench.
No, he's got 3 base attacks is pretty solid.
Yeah, 3 base attacks is pretty good, yeah. They're not super high power, at least.
Not yet, but wait, there's more.
But there is more. Blood Quenched. A cumulative +1 strength and arm for each enemy model destroyed with a melee attack during its activation. So you pile him into the middle of, I'd say, a single wound infantry unit that are apparently on the way back. If you hadn't heard.
By the time he's buying attacks, his strength is, you've pushed that bite up to power 17.
Yeah. Without including things like Dark Shroud or feats or
No, I'm just talking him.
Yeah, just on his
that's
own,
before you do anything useful.
And his beasts gain Blood Quenched.
Oh, the world's not ready for this shit.
That's big, right? That's big.
That is disgusting.
So
it is so disgusting.
So not only are you giving his beast +2 speed off the bat, you're giving them. There's no limit to how much you Blood Quench. It doesn't cap out. It's not like Synergy. Stop at 3. No, carry on, boys. Just as long as you're chomping, just get more angry and more covered in blood.
Yeah,
and do more
don't
killing.
worry. It's not like your guys are going to miss because you have murderous intent for boosted rolls to hit infantry.
So yeah, that's what 2 casts last around. Models in the battle group getting murderous, and it's not boost. It's murderous, so it's an additional die. So if you really do need to hit,
so that will affect him and his pet Swamp Horror as well.
Yeah, and if you really do need to, you can boost and have your extra die too. If you really want to hit that, whatever. So you're like, I really need to hit that Archon. Like I need to hit that Archon real bad under Fianna's feet. That's what I've hit. It's fine.
I think the first thing that happened as soon as every minion player looked at this was like, oh, we've been playing Azazello and Gunny 2 for a while, but one of them has to drop out for Rusk now because this shit is too good.
And it's going to be interesting to see how the other minion stuff gets affected, because he also gives Gatorman unit posse +1 strength and mat and relentless charge. Just
because why not?
Just flat, like just to encourage you to bring some of those in case you weren't. So yeah, he's pretty fucking hard.
So minions. So here's the one thing I haven't seen is he's a minion model.
Yeah.
What factions can take him?
He'll work for Circle, Scorn, and Trobloods.
Oh, right, there it is.
Yeah, minion.
Good. I was complaining about minions, but I'm glad to see Circle Christmas still doesn't end. So I can play this in my Kruger list.
Yeah.
I can TK that fucking swamp horror.
Yeah. Obviously. Why wouldn't you? TK. Does Hunter's Mark, is that just friendly faction or is it friendly?
I think Hunter's Mark might be friendly faction.
What a hard life.
Oh, there we go. Circle nerfed, please fix.
Wait a minute though. But he's. Did you just take him and Makeda, and then Makeda just gives him?
Hunter's Mark is friendly models. It's not friendly faction.
There we go. So you TK, Hunter's Mark, fucking battle.
Fuck.
TK, Hunter's Mark, battle host. It's a hard life. It's a hard
bad.
life.
Oh damn.
So, or do you take him in like Disciples of Agony in
Scorn?
In Scorn, and then
I mean, it's a lot more reasonable.
Yeah, but then Makeda can give him some extra speed.
Oh Jesus.
Makeda could be like, hey bro, here you're out the swamp, looking to make an impact. Yeah.
I mean, he's a monster. He is such a monster. Man.
Okay, right. So Celerity is friendly faction. So alright, okay. So he can't help so much. But Hero of the People affects him though. And then she can sack Pawn onto him because he's a warrior model.
Battle host and TK with Kruger on a.
Yeah, they just walk up the battle side by side. She sack pawns anything that hits her onto Barney. Barney goes, whatever. I'm coming for you.
Oh no, man!
Yeah,
this is just not okay.
So yeah.
Fuck.
So the Warlocks and Zeros, pretty fucking good. Like
pretty damn good, man.
As we see Archons slightly toned down. What's actually happening is
I'm still not going to drop an Archon from my list. They're still so strong.
Archons are like the partiers at like 2 or 3 in the morning. They're starting to run out of steam or money or whatever, and then fucking kapow! The doors to the club burst open, and the 0 level Warlocks come in, and they're like fucking on a raging bend, and they're like, "Let's go!"
I mean, like I was saying, I still don't think that Thags is going to kick out a Blight Archon.
Yeah,
you're not going to drop a Death Archon that's in your Kruger list for Barney. Yeah. You might drop Kogan. Yeah,
Kogan's not looking as good.
Kogan's stock is looking a little slim right now, I've got to tell you.
But they're definitely all potential big impact pieces that are going to really compete for spots in the factions, which is good, right?
Oh yeah, that's fine. You know what? New toys should be played. They should be good. I just don't want them.
Just maybe not
I
quite.
Want them to be I want them. I don't want them to be auto includes. I would like them to be. I would like them to be a decision that I think they got it right actually with Thag Zero, where you will find lists where he makes sense, but he doesn't make sense in all the
every
lists.
list. Yeah, that's the balance you've got to reach, right? Is
I
you don't
look
want
at Kruger,
these new releases to be
Kruger Zero
autoplays.
and I look at Kruger Zero and Barney Zero, and like the only real reason I see to not bring them when you can is the only reason to not bring them is because you're playing their later version as a warlock and you legally can't.
Hard life.
Like, or they're in the wrong theme force or something. Like, if they're legally available, you should be bringing them. They're just that good.
Yeah, seems legit.
I'm honestly not too salty about Kruger Zero because I think he opens up a playstyle that Circle players have frankly wanted for 4 years and have just been unavailable to them.
Yeah,
which is, like the living beasts are they're the prettiest things in Circle. Loki's like a super cool looking model. There's plenty he's
of
awesome.
stuff. And it's be interesting in the next couple of weeks seeing how many of these things are just getting like little point adjustments rather than rules adjustments. Yeah. Because like frankly, like a lot of the things that aren't played at the moment aren't played because of the value based on what they've got on their card. So if they just got a bit cheaper, that might be all they need to do, which is like a minor tweak for PP to be making.
Yeah. If it was a 1 or a 2 point swing, that's usually not quite enough. Like we saw with the Angelius, a 2 point drop wasn't quite enough.
Yeah.
You needed a quality of life increase as well.
Adjustment as well.
And even then, it's touch and go whether or not these Angelius lists will actually stand the bit of the test.
Yeah.
One
of my locals has been playing with Angels with his Archons and really enjoying them. Yeah. In fact, the guy that's taking me tomorrow.
Oh right, I'm having fun with them, but I'm not sold that they're the way to go.
Yeah.
I'm still not sold that an Angel is actually worth the price of admission. But I'm having fun with them for now, so let's see.
But yeah, I think definitely cool. the level 0 Warlocks. I think across the board, looking a lot nicer than the old level 0 Warcasters.
I mean, the level 0 casters were mostly really good. The only one that was
they were like okay,
was
right?
Denegra. I mean, Sevi 0 is still ridiculous.
Yeah, but like Sevi you see. Who else do we see?
We don't see. I
Alara.
think it's a theme issue that we don't see Kane Zero. Kane Zero is good, but I think he's got he's in the wrong themes. We certainly see Alara,
but I think that's it, right?
Yeah. What was the Kador one? I mean, Denegra was just
Sorcerer Zero.
Sorcerer Zero is good. Well, why we definitely should be seeing her. If we don't, why not?
Yeah, everyone free
boundless charge. Like hell yes. The only one that was a complete dud was Denegra, which was every Crix player in the CID telling them over and over, like an or an offensive upkeep on a focus forecast is a shit idea.
Yeah.
And just falling on deaf fucking ears. Like that should have been blindingly obvious to everyone involved.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure how they missed the mark, but they do sometimes, and it's not.
Yeah.
Every team doing their.
It's not that they missed the mark. Sure. It's that all the feedback was there. Like there was no excuse for not seeing that feedback.
Yeah.
There was a lot of it. Yeah. That was someone in. I think Hungerford had a bit of a Crix hangover from Mark II. I have a feeling he was the big voice that kept Crix in the dirt.
I think that's been a while,
3.
yeah, sort of hanging over them. Same as it seemed to do that over Legion for a good start of this edition, and it's like they've kind of stopped doing that now. So now we see Legion starting to get some actual good stuff. It's cool.
Yeah.
But looking good though, looking positive.
Cool.
So
it is looking good.
we'll see. See what's
every
what's
week
next.
every week we see a little more.
Yeah, it's good. It's good work. Like I appreciate that they're putting this in. And
I'm looking forward to playing a game with less oppressive death archons, and
too.
if I can,
Me too,
I'm
as a
really
Grim
looking
player.
forward to getting a game in where I can get like good use out of a whole lot of Legion infantry.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we're pretty much done though.
Yeah, that's us.
And yeah, don't forget if you are watching it back, don't forget feed the social media gods, follow, subscribe, hit bells, do whatever you can to support us. It's cool. Like make it seem like there's a point to us being here. Like I really appreciate people coming and chatting like in the chats, which is cool. And
Absolutely.
put comments and tell us what else you'd like to see. I'm trying to get a couple of the winners for the American events from last weekend. Have all said they'll come and have a chat with us. We just need to work out a schedule and get that on the go.
That'll be fascinating.
So cool. That'll be some extra things to fill in the weeks until it comes in. Yeah. Small correction. What's that? Elias is coming into Facebook with a small correction. We'll see what he's going to say in a second. But yeah, feed the social media gods and let's revel. Most circle beasts will be getting something.
Well, don't keep me in suspense. What?
The anticipation.
Nerfed into the ground.
Plus, we did talk about how the primal beasts certainly would be getting power to their weapon or strength, depending on what was appropriate. I think is the text.
Yeah. So the promise there was
the
promise was actually only the beasts that have access to primal cheaply. Yeah. I'm hoping that like a lot of the griffins etc get a +1 strength buff as well. Yeah. And that helps them out.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see
because they do rely quite heavily on primal.
Yeah.
And they are fire and forget missiles that don't care about the frenzy.
Yeah, we cool. We'll see. Obviously, there's plenty more to come still, so we'll see. We'll see next week. I know if you're following if you follow the Discord servers, more stuff gets shown out there.
Elias says Faye has said that's going to be quite a bit more than just the Animus. So,
cool.
Well, that's very, very good news. That's quite heartening.
Generally upping the living beasts' effectiveness, which would be nice. Just to encourage them.
Well, I mean that would be keeping them on par basically because they were relying on primal. So
yeah, they were slacking behind.
Yeah.
Yeah. That still looks good.
But very cool.
Yeah. So okay. So with that, I'm gonna go. My bag is packed for the morning. I'm ready to go. I've arched a lot of stuff this afternoon. So hopefully we'll be back next Friday for some actual battle reports, and we'll see if there's any juicy news to give out as well. And
great stuff.
Thanks for watching. And we'll see you all later.
Excellent.
Good night, buddy.
Right.
Bye.
Cheers. Have a good one.